Greetings, Commanders, and glory of mankind. In today's live stream, Frontier Development announced some very exciting news for the game as a whole. First and foremost, the Type 8 will become available on August 7, exactly a week from now. And clearly, at least to me, this looks like an antique Xeno ship. I mean, look at those two things in the front. Aren't those like railgun emplacements? They totally look like railgun emplacements, which we will use as Gauss cannon emplacements, because like Gauss cannon is the equivalent of rails for antique Xeno combat. I'll be taking this out for a spin when it releases on August 7 and let you know how it does against different target interceptors. I would do it sooner, but alas, I forgot to put in my application for the Elite Partner Program. I missed that deadline, and consequently, I can't do it earlier. So I will do it like everybody else when the ship releases. Now, jokes aside, because this is clearly not an antique Xeno ship, but I will still take it out for antique Xeno combat regardless. So jokes and no jokes aside, the maybe even more exciting news is that there's a major overhaul of engineering coming. And as we all know, engineering is probably the least fun part of the game right now in Elite Dangerous. And the approach they've taken is to radically decrease the amount of materials that it's going to take to engineer modules, space modules for spaceships, while also increasing the number of material rewards that are handed out in a variety of scenarios. So high-graded missions now have 30 canisters or thereabout instead of like the 5-6 that they had on average. Missions will be rewarding up to 24 materials. There's additional data points at Jameson's crash site, and there's just a wide range of additional materials that will be dropped throughout different activities in the game, which net should cut down. My guesstimate is the amount of time, effort, grind for engineering spaceships to higher degrees, and also to lower degrees for that matter, by somewhere between 2/3 and 4/5. So by a very significant amount. And obviously this is a welcome change, as nobody likes just HG relogging to gather a bunch of pharmaceutical isolators, which are impossible to find in the first place. So good, welcome change. Probably 6 years late, but as always, better late than never. So very welcome, very happy for the engineering overhaul. They also promised to overhaul on-foot engineering, but they didn't specify how much they're going to be reducing the materials required or how much they're going to increase the rewards for on-foot missions. That is actually the worst part of the game right now, as the grind for on-foot engineering is just awful. It's just awful to go and engineer suits and weapons. The amount of materials required is just never ending. They got that calibration completely wrong. They're fixing it now, which is great. Or at least we'll see, because they didn't give us numbers regarding that part. But hopefully they will fix it, since they've clearly shown the will to do so, at least on the space part of the game. I wish they would also let us override modules in suits, because the fact that once a module is installed, it's permanent and there's nothing you can do about it just kind of sucks, let's be honest. Like, why? Is it kind of incentivizing us of like creating additional suits? I don't want to do that. I want to change my suit up and I need to destroy a module for that? That's fine. I'm okay doing that. But having to build an entirely new suit because I realized that the combat movement speed that I have on my Maverick really doesn't make sense after I've put it to G5 with all these other actual useful mods. I mean, come on. So anyway, that little grumble aside, they promised to reduce also the grind associated with off-foot engineering. That's a good thing. It's welcome. So thank you for doing that. There's also been a series of additional changes. The access requirements for unlocking on-foot engineers have been reduced, which is great. And overall, a welcome change. And then finally, the carrying capacity of suits has also been increased by a significant margin, which will require fewer trips from and to your ship to just unload the looting haul that you may have as you clear out an on-foot settlement with especially the smaller suits like the Dominator and the Artemis. With that, that's it. Commander Meccan, over and out, and glory to mankind.